Hello and welcome again to Talk TV. I'm your host, Doug Brendel. Today I'm joined by Linda Bacon-Kendall. She's going to tell us about the VFW, otherwise known as Veterans of Foreign Wars, and what all they have available for veterans and families here in Pahrump. So, with no further ado, Linda, how you doing today?
Just fine.
So, tell us a little bit about what it is a VFW does here in town. I see you have the preamble. Would you like to read that?
Oh, yes, I would. Our preamble that is read at every meeting, and this is approved by Congress because we are chartered through Congress.
Okay.
That the purpose of this corporation shall be fraternal, patriotic, historical, charitable, and educational, to preserve and strengthen comradeship among its members, and to assist worthy comrades, to perpetuate the memory and history of our dead, and to assist their widows and orphans, to maintain true allegiance to the government of the United States of America and fidelity to its constitutions and laws, to foster true patriotism, to maintain and extend the institution of American freedom, and to preserve and defend the United States from all her enemies.
I'm okay with all that. So, you say that you are the past all-state commander. Was that Nevada?
Michigan.
Michigan, all right. And what actually is all involved in the VFW? Everybody says, yeah, I've been there and had a drink or two. That's not what the VFW is all about, is it?
No, that is entirely not true. We do programs such as, well, one is the All-State program, Americanism and Loyalty Day programs, usually done the last weekend in April or 1st of May.
Mm-hmm.
We do a Buddy Poppy program. In Michigan, we always did it in May. Here, they're doing it in October.
Okay.
And we do cancer research programs.
Oh, that's nice.
My former post, we raised every year at a pancake dinner at least $1,500 to $1,700 that we turned over to the cancer research.
Wow.
And we do community service programs. We do anything. I'm going to do a comparison. You know, in Michigan, they needed a new fire truck in Sheridan. We gave them $10,000 for it. The year before that, we gave them $15,000 to buy a new playground. We redid the whole playground for the elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
And every year, we give back to the community as much as we can. Some of the other programs is the Day of Challenge programs. And this is where juniors or seniors go to a 2-week camp and they work with the Army National Guard, and they learn all about leadership and rank. And a few people know about it. And we do a drug and safety program, trying to get the younger people and even some of the older people, you know, to be aware of, and it's a whole program. And
Right. Prescription or just all drugs?
All drugs.
Yeah, okay.
And we try to find employment for homeless veterans.
Isn't that a shame?
It is.
I mean, the number of, the percentage of homeless who are veterans is just unbelievable.
It is. It totally amazes me.
And even worse, how many of them are recent veterans from wars and conflicts. It's just unbelievable.
From coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan, even though the government says that they will retain your job, it's a law that they have to take you back. But some of them take the person back and then a few weeks later fire them because they'd already replaced them.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's a tragedy.
Yeah.
In Detroit, they just finished building I think there's 170 rooms for homeless veterans in Detroit.
Nice.
And I know they're planning on one for here.
Oh, great. You mean Pahrump or Southern Nevada in general?
Southern Nevada in general.
Uh-huh.
I also work with my daughter on the Food for Thought program. And you talked to her the other day.
Right.
And
Shonda.
yeah. I got here on the 30th of October, and she had me out working on the 31st. Gives me very few days off. And then we have the hospital program. If we find a veteran that needs to be hospitalized and he's not in the veterans health system, we try what we can do to get them in or get them signed up to make a claim for a percentage of disability. And right now the Vietnam vets are the top of the list because most of them are now at the age where anything from Agent Orange is showing up.
Right. That was a bad one.
Yes, it was. And what people don't realize is that they sprayed the DMZ in Korea with Agent Orange starting in '68, and they sprayed until 1983.
Wow.
Our neighbor Canada used Agent Orange until 1984.
Wow.
And those are facts that few people know about. And then we do the legislative program, and this one is very dear. We try to keep in contact with our elected officials for both state and United States. And we, we write letters to them and make sure that they're working for us veterans. And they would like to cut the veterans benefit. And that's why I'm talking today mostly that if you're eligible from Vietnam, Korea, World War II, Grenada, Iraq, both times, Afghanistan, that you're eligible. And if so, you should be in the VA health system, whether you have anything wrong or not, because a lot of them are showing where they've been hit with lost the word biohazardous.
Oh, okay. Right.
And a lot of them are coming home and they can't pinpoint the disease,
Right.
but
Like what they call incidental exposure to it.
Right.
And they're saying, what's wrong with this guy? And he says, well, I was around some bad stuff once. Yeah.
And people don't realize that. I was an MP in Korea, and my patrol area went from the DMZ down to Camp Humphreys, over to Seoul, and over to Incheon, 430 square miles. So we went up to the border all the time. Our membership program, we have the Post, we have a ladies auxiliary, and we are trying to start a men's auxiliary. And for the ladies auxiliary or men's auxiliary, you have to have had a father, grandfather, brother, sister,
just direct relative.
Direct relatives,
Okay.
grandson, son, and then you're eligible. And what I really push for in this is every time we get a new member, we have one more voice before Congress and the Senate to keep our veterans' benefits.
Yeah.
And you know,
Should be one of the last things they even ever consider,
Yes.
much less even actually go through with
yes,
taking
because there's more and more of us that are having to use the VA healthcare system. In fact, 3 years ago, Congress passed a law stating that if you have to go to the hospital and you're too far to go to a VA, you can go to any hospital, you ask them to call the VA, and they will cover your hospitalization as long as you're in the VA health system.
Oh, nice.
And that's a law that most people don't understand, you know, haven't heard of it. And that's why when I was a district commander, that was one of the things that I pushed at every post I visited.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do you know this?
Right.
Are you in the healthcare system? And you'd be surprised how many don't realize that they should be in the house, in the healthcare.
I'm one of those.
Yes,
I'm a
one of
veteran.
those. Yes.
I've never taken one benefit from being a veteran. I should get on it.
You should get on
They
it.
owe me.
Yeah, you got it. I even brought you an application today, but I will get you one for the
Okay.
men's auxiliary.
Right on.
And then in Michigan, we do a Freedom Academy. Nevada does one too. It's where they pick so many seniors or juniors going to be seniors, and they do a program to show leadership and get them aware of what the Senate and the Congress do. In fact, last weekend, all the state winners from the VOD and Patriot Pin were in Washington, D.C. The winner of the national is $30,000
Nice.
scholarship.
Nice.
And it starts at the post. And at my former post, we covered 3 different school systems, and we gave $1,000 to the winner and $500 to the second person and $250 to the third person for each of those high schools. Here they only have one high school here, and we're already working on the Voice of Democracy and the Patriot Pin program. Patriot Pin program, you write an essay, and they give you a topic for each year. You write an essay and you turn it in, and they're judged. And again, there's scholarships involved, all the way up to national.
Nice.
In the Voice of Democracy, well, let me go back. Patriot Pins cover 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. The Voice of Democracy covers 9th through senior year. But if you win in 9th grade, you can do another one for 10th grade. You have the opportunity to
4 years in a row.
4 years in a row. And
Keep your whistle wet.
and then we have an overseas veteran for their needs. We send care packages. You know, if we can get your address anywhere, we send packages at different times, you know, cookies and things to make them feel that somebody here cares for them while they're overseas.
Yeah, that's
And,
great.
you know, and I used to get them when I was overseas,
Yeah,
and I really appreciated
yeah,
knowing that somebody back there knew
yeah,
where I was
yeah.
and, you know, sent these care packages.
When they have mail call, there's nothing better than getting something that when they shout out your name and you can go up there and get your package or letter. And then there's nothing as disheartening as they say, "That's it, fall out," and you walk away. You go, "Dang!"
And if you were one of
Nobody remembered me.
And if you're one of the lucky ones that got a package from
Yeah.
a veterans organization, and all the veterans organizations, whether it's the VFW, American Legion, DAV, and on and on and on, try to do these things for veterans to make sure they're not forgotten.
Absolutely.
And then we have what we call a military assistance program. And this program is used for if you're deployed overseas and your spouse and children are back here and they are struggling to pay bills and things like that. Generally, we, as a national organization, spend maybe $3 million for telephone cards to help pay rent because, you know, the money's not there.
Yeah.
Help with food, gas cards. And we also give all these phone cards to the veterans. And we have set up some computer cafes so that they can go online and talk face-to-face with their spouse and family, which, you know, it helps their morale.
Great. All right, now hold that last thought because we do have to take a break real quick. And when we come back, we will find out the rest of the great programs available through the VFW. And welcome back. Okay, let's get back with Linda Bacon-Kendall from the local Pahrump VFW post down on Homestead Road, and she'll enlighten us as to some more of the great programs that they offer to veterans and their families. Linda, take it away. Which one's next there?
The Michigan National Home, even though it's in Eaton Rapids, Michigan, all the states support it. Most of them have a house, and each house has a house mother, and it's for orphans out of the veterans. It's also, if a veteran comes home and he needs support, he can move his family into there for a 2-year program.
Nice.
And we get a lot of wives that their husbands were wounded seriously, and they also can stay in one of the houses for up to 2 years, no cost.
Wow.
And so and I have visited the National Home several times when I lived in Michigan. It's a really nice facility. And
it fills a great need.
It does.
I mean, that situation is pretty dire.
I know.
If you're in that situation. It'd be nice to have somebody reach out and help you out that way.
But a lot of people don't know about the National Home.
Yeah.
So, and there's, trying to remember how many buildings. Every state has a house. In Michigan, because we're from Michigan, we have 3 houses that we maintain and support.
Hmm.
So if somebody finds themselves in a need like that, this place is really great.
Yeah. Well, especially for the orphans. That's
yes. Awesome. But because it also takes care of the family, if they're unable to take care of the children because they're deployed or something, they can send their children there. And it's nice. It's heartwarming. Even when I was in the service, because I had 3 children, knowing that if something happened to me and no one in my family could take it, there was a place for my children to go.
Yeah.
And it's a little known fact. We also do, real fast.
Fast. We're running into our last minute here. I hate to do that to you.
We select a Teacher of the Year, a Boy Scout of the Year, a Girl Scout of the Year, a Policeman of the Year or a group, or an EMT or partners like that. And finally, youth activities. Most posts sponsor at least one Boy Scout or one Girl Scout unit at the post. They teach gun safety.
That's a great thing to learn.
Yeah, especially
never too early.
Yeah, and that's it. And in Michigan, our classes were always filled to the brim every time we did it because the kids wanted to go hunting, and they couldn't go hunting without the program.
Hey, you know what? There's one you didn't mention.
What's that?
And it's not an actual program, I'm sure, but I realized a couple years ago that a lot of people don't know where to dispose of an old flag, and the VFW post right there on Homestead has an annual flag burning ceremony on Flag Day in June, and I thought that was really nice. Plus, just the way they carried it out with the old soldiers and Boy Scouts and everything, it was really cool to see.
Yes, it's very nice. I have performed a couple of them with the Boy Scouts as a district commander.
And don't throw your flags away.
No, please don't.
Please don't do that.
And it's a ritual we do.
Yeah, it's a very nice ceremony. I was really impressed.
And even though once all the flags are burned, we take those ashes and save them because they're part of our American heritage.
Yes. Hey, we're at our 20-minute limit just about here, Linda. I really appreciate you coming in today. And I've put your email up here, lawchump@aol.com. So if anybody has any inquiries as to how to join or to possibly get some assistance from the VFW and all their great programs, they could contact you. And you were saying also, just come on down to the post on Homestead, right? And check into it.
One last thing.
I know a lot of people, too, I just want to throw this in, like I used to think. I'm a veteran, but I wasn't a veteran of a foreign war. I thought that it was off limits to me. I thought, well, that's not for me. I never went over and fought a war, but that's not true, right?
That's not true.
It's open to the public.
It is, especially if you have somebody sign you in. And one last thing.
Yes.
Here at the VFW, we have a Veterans Food Pantry open Monday through Friday from 10 to noon. So if a veteran is in need of help, we will help them.
That's great. There is a lot of need these days, too. Again, Linda, thank you very much for coming in today. And with that, that's all for today. So keep tuning in to 46.4, your TV guide, and Talk TV channel. We'll see you again. Bye.